So you've finished building your client's WordPress website and you are ready to hand it over to them for completion and finally get paid for your efforts. But you're not sure how to do that because this is something that you've never done before. So don't worry, I am here to share my last 15 years of experience as a freelance WordPress developer with you and show you the exact same process that I would do and still do today for handing over these WordPress website clients their final finished product so you can get paid. So let's just say now that you have a completed WordPress website for your client and it's now just a case of handing this over for completion. So basically what we are going to do, now this is going to differ slightly depending on where you are with your build. If you have your website locally and it's just a case of migrating it from your local website to your client's website, then of course you can just do a migration. But what I would always suggest, and something that I teach in another video of mine, which I will link somewhere in the top right hand corner of this video, is to actually use an intermediary website to get feedback from your clients and then move it from there to your hosting account to host for the completed final website for your client. Now, basically what we're going to be doing in this video, and again, if you want to see how I've done this, you can watch that video which I just linked to in the top right hand corner. But basically what we are going to do is let's now assume that we have everything signed off from the client. They're all happy with everything about it. They have got their domain purchased. So you've told them, hey, look, guys, you need to get your own domain name. Go away and buy it from somewhere like Namecheap or GoDaddy, although Namecheap is 100 times better than GoDaddy. Tell them to get that domain name, and once they are ready, you can then move their finished and ready website to their domain name. So let's get on with that right now. So basically what we are going to do is I am going to assume now that they have gone out there and bought or purchased their domain name. So let's just say they've got it with someone like Namecheap and they're going to need to give you access to that account. If they don't give you access to that account, then they're going to have to change their name servers themselves. Now that can be confusing for some people and some clients, you know, they are not technical at all, so you really need to hold their hand through this whole process. And in many cases it's just easier if they just give you access to their domain name account themselves. So again, whichever account that is, the process is going to be exactly the same thing. We basically just need to update the name servers. Now, hypothetically speaking, I've got a domain here which I don't use called rwonline.co.uk. I'm just going to assume for the purpose of this video that this is your client's domain name that they want to have their website pushed onto. So once you have access to their domain name and to their actual domain registrar account, we can then go about the process of migrating the website over to their domain. Now, of course, to do that, we need to be able to get their website onto their domain name, onto the internet. And to do that, we need to come back over to our hosting account. So, of course, at the minute, we have our website the completed one, all signed off with the green tick of approval from your client, ready to go. But we just need to migrate that over to their actual domain name. So let's go ahead and get that set up now with our Hostinger account. And again, if you're not using Hostinger, then you're an idiot not to, because quite frankly, it's the cheapest and the fastest. And trust me, I've used many of them. If you're interested to learn a little bit more about why I choose Hostinger, why I use it for all of my client websites and my own personal websites, then I will add a video and link to that somewhere here on the right hand side if you're interested. Now, let's go about the process of getting this new website added to our Hostinger account. So again, once you are logged into your account, we need to come along to our websites and websites list, and we're going to add a new website. So we can see this client.travelcrush is the new subdomain that I show you guys. I recommend that you guys move or migrate your local websites to as an intermediary. So there is now going to be their website on a live website, which you can show them. And if you're not there in person with them and you're doing this over Zooms and stuff, you've got a physical website on the internet, their physical website, but it is on your subdomain, so of your personal website. Travel Crush is just a dummy website, or it's actually not a dummy website. It's a website I use to teach other people how to build websites. But that is not the point. The point is that we have to assume that that is going to be, let's say, your personal WordPress developer website. So we need to add their website, their domain name as a new website. So we're going to select add website, and I'm going to add an empty PHP website, empty PHP/HTML. Now, if you remember, the website that we're going to be adding, the domain name that we're going to be working with is rwonline.co.uk. So go ahead and copy their domain name and paste that into your new website. For some reason that just went. Let's go ahead and select that. So it says, do you own this domain? Let's use it. So we are going to do that. Let's go ahead and select next. So that's going to go through that whole can't get my words out. That's going through the whole initializing process. I'm still struggling with that one. And it is now completed. So basically now what we can do is get everything ready to migrate this over to our new website. So we can do that. If you're not familiar with how to use any migration tools, Duplicator, which is the one that I use all the time, then I'll also link to another video somewhere up on the top right here where I will show you how to migrate your websites from local to live, from one live website to a different live website, so that you've got the freedom to move websites around as freely as you would love to, as I'm sure that is going to be very, very useful to know. Now, if you do know how to use Duplicator and you do know how to migrate, go ahead and migrate that from this website. Well, I say this website, it's going to be the subdomain or the local website that you've been building, and you're going to migrate it onto the new domain. So of course what you're going to have to do is come into the files there. You'll have to upload that installer.php and the WordPress files. You're obviously going to need to create a new database and a new database user for that. And again, this is something that I'll teach you in another video which I've previously linked to. But for now, all we're interested about getting it configured is the name servers. Now, of course, you can see here we get a warning saying this domain isn't connected to your website. That's because we need to update the name servers. So to do that, that is what we need access to their domain registrar account for. So again, whether that's Namecheap, whether that is GoDaddy, whether that is any of the 101 million different domain registrar services out there, the process is going to be very, very similar. We basically just need to update the name servers. So we can see here under the domain list for Namecheap, we've got the option to change this. So we want to go ahead and check the custom DNS, and now we have the option to add in additional name servers. We can continue adding more name servers if you're using a different hosting account that maybe has 3 or 4 different name server addresses. And to get those name server addresses, you can come along to the overview here. And hold on, not overview, we're at hosting plan details. They've just updated it. Here we go, name servers. We can see that we've got the name servers just here. So what we need to do is copy that and paste that first into name server 1. Come along to the other one. We can say that we can see that there are 2 name servers. So I'm going to copy this one as well. Look, there's also, it's actually these ones down here. Connect your domain to hosting by changing to the name servers. You were probably screaming at the screen then saying, Rick, what on earth are you doing? You're using the wrong ones. So yeah, we're going to use the correct ones. You'd think I hadn't done this before. I'm going to copy that one as well, paste that into the first one. With that done, we're going to go ahead and select that tick. So with that tick selected, it's going to go through a propagation period. Now, propagation period can take, as you can just see up here, up to 48 hours. So please, once you have migrated your website to their domain name and you have updated the name servers from their domain registrar account, if you were then to go over to their website, to their actual domain name, and nothing was on there yet, don't panic. You know, it does take some time for that propagation, up to 48 hours, but from experience, usually that is updated within 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes even sooner. So just keep checking back, and as soon as that has updated, you can then send the link to the domain name link to your client, letting them know that their website is live on the internet on their domain name for their business, for their brand, their personal project, whatever it's for, and it's live there for the whole world to see. Now remember, just as I've said before, please, before you migrate any website over to your client's personal domain name, their business domain name, get payment first. So, or at least get some money or like 80%. I would request at least 80% at this point of the project before I migrate any website onto their personal website. They can already see on your subdomain of your personal website, or if you're doing this in person in a coffee shop or something on a local website, they can see the website. They can see that this is the website that you have built for them. If they are happy with it, then most people, 99.999% of people, would have no problems completing payment for that project. Once they have completed the payment for that project, then you do this final stage of migrating the website over, updating the name servers, waiting for that propagation period to be done, and clap your hands and you are all done. So that is the exact process that I do every single week for the past 15 years, building WordPress websites for my clients as a WordPress freelance developer. So if you like this video, please remember, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you want to stay in the loop with any new videos that are coming my way, and I thank you for watching this video.